Traditional Japanese food is so delicious and diverse, you can probably go on for weeks just visiting new restaurants and sampling different types of Japanese food. But if you feel like trying something a little bit modern and different yet equally amazing, get ready for our list of Japanese fusion dishes. In the previous video, we talked about the different Japanese fusion styles and a little bit about the history. If you haven't already and are interested in checking out that video, make sure to click the link in the description box down below. Here in this video, let's take a look at the top 11 Japanese fusion dishes that you should try. I've also added specific restaurant recommendations in the description box, so if you're interested in trying out these fusion dishes, definitely check out the recommendations after this video. Alright, without further ado, let's dive right in. The first one is omurice. I'm sure you've seen videos of a perfect omelette laid over rice. Well, that is omurice. It's derived from the Japanese pronunciation of omelette, omuretto, and rice, raisu. The rice is usually tomato rice or fried rice mixed with different ingredients. But the real challenge of this dish is the omelette. It has to be cooked for just the right amount of time with the right amount of stirring while it's in the pan to get its fluffy texture. Omurice is said to have originated in a Western-style restaurant in Ginza in the year of 1900. While the original omurice is delicious, there are other options now as well. In some restaurants, you can have omurice with curry or with tempura or even an omu lasagna. If you like omelets, especially fluffy ones, then you definitely wouldn't be disappointed. Alright, the second fusion dish for you is Japanese pasta. Japanese chefs can be very creative with their pasta, and there's a wide range of Japanese style pasta for you to choose from. As I mentioned in this video with the list of every Japanese food you should try, natto is one of the healthiest foods in the world, and it's also one of the most unique and interesting Japanese style pastas. Seafood is also used a lot in Japanese style pasta, like tarako, which is cod roe, squid, ikura, which is salmon roe, and all kinds of seaweed. These pasta choices might sound a little bit weird to you, but they're definitely worth trying. Alright, then we've got Japanese pizza. Although you can get your typical types of pizzas in Japan, some shops and restaurants add a twist to their pizzas. From teriyaki chicken pizza to seafood pizzas, there's a wide range of odd pizzas in Japan. And yes, there's also a famous Japanese corn pizza. Japanese pizzas usually have very thin crust, but they also have the classic stuffed crust. And it might sound a little bit bizarre to you, you can even have dessert pizzas. There's the chocolate pizza, apple custard pizza, pizza with ice cream, and they might not be authentically Japanese, but if you're interested, you should definitely give them a go. Alright, then we've got Japanese desserts. Japanese people love their sweets, and it's not surprising to see Japanese fusion dessert dishes everywhere. The Japanese crepe is probably the most famous. You simply can't say you've been to Harajuku if you don't try a crepe from one of the many crepe stores. Japanese crepe is very different from the original European kind. In Japan, you can get the simple crepes like sugar or chocolate crepe, but you can also go wild and get crepes with brownies and a mountain of whipped cream, crepes with red beans and green tea ice cream, and again with a mountain of whipped cream, crepes with cookies and sliced bananas, and there's so many more. Besides all the different crepes, there are also other desserts that are popular in Japan like custard puddings and cakes, especially Mont Blanc and more. Alright, the fifth one is taco rice. This is one of the signature food dishes in Okinawa, an island prefecture in the south of Japan. Since Okinawa has the biggest US military base outside of the US, it's been largely influenced by American cuisine, and different Okinawan dishes have been tweaked to suit the American taste. Taco rice has basically the same ingredients as the usual taco flavored mincemeat, shredded lettuce, tomato, and cheese. It has everything but the taco. Instead of the taco, you get rice. It's a delicious dish that's perfect for the hot weather because it's usually served cool like a salad. Alright, then we've got Hamburg steak. Hamburg steak, which is usually pronounced as Hamburger steaki, is a Japanese take on the Salisbury steak from Germany. It is a patty made with minced meat, and it's usually the main dish, not a side dish. You can get it usually in family restaurants or in steak restaurants as a more affordable alternative. Hamburg steak is usually served with a side of vegetables as well as toppings like tomato, cheese, avocado, and others. All kinds of sauces can accompany the Hamburg steak, from gravy to onion sauce, tomato sauce, and demi-glace sauce. Hamburg steak is also commonly eaten with rice, and it's a popular meat bento. Alright, number 7 is gyoza. Where do we even begin? We'd have to go all the way back to the 1600s when a Chinese scholar brought it from China to Japan. Japanese people even refer to gyoza with its Chinese name, which is jiaozi, up until 1868. Since then, Japan has switched up the recipes, ingredients, and sauces, and different versions have been invented. Boiled, grilled, pan-fried, deep-fried, you can get gyoza in all sorts of ways in Japan. In recent years, some restaurants have gone a step further and added even more foreign twists to gyoza by creating coriander gyoza, chili gyoza, basil basil sauce gyoza, and so much more. Alright, number 8 is ramen. As I mentioned in the previous video, ramen originated from China. Combined with Japanese style of cooking, you have what it is now the Japanese version of ramen in Japan. But did you know that this amazing Japanese food can be mixed with all kinds of foreign influences? One famous Japanese fusion ramen dish is cheese ramen. It might sound a little bit weird, but trust me, it is extremely addictive. There's also ramen with tomato and onion broth, squid ink ramen, tom yum ramen, curry ramen, and ramen with basil-based broth. If you're interested in checking out some of these fusion ramen places, I've also linked some restaurant recommendations in the description box, so make sure to check those out. Alright, next we've got Japanese curry. Since it was introduced in the late 1800s, Japanese curry has become one of the most popular meal choices in Japan, both at home and in restaurants. Japanese curries tend to have fewer spices comparing to Southeast Asian curries, and onions, carrots, and potatoes are usually used in Japanese curries along with chicken, beef, or pork. Omelette curry is also an option that has gained a lot of popularity in the recent years. Even though curry is usually served with rice, you can also now get curry udon and curry bread. Speaking of which, let's talk about buns. Buns are originally from China, and although you can get the authentic Chinese buns in Japan, you can also get Japanese fusion buns like pizza buns, curry buns, tom yum buns, black sesame buns, gyoza buns, and lots more seasonal options. These Japanese fusion buns are unique, and you can usually get them from convenience stores at a very affordable price of around $2. All you have to do is go up to the counter and look for the hot food section. If you've tried one or have a chance to try one out, definitely let us know in the comment section down below. Alright, the next Japanese fusion dish for you is Western sushi. This doesn't really come as a shock, but to accommodate foreigners' taste, many Japanese fusion sushi dishes have been added to restaurants' menus. You can get cheeseburger sushi, tempura sushi, although both Japanese, tempura was rarely, if ever, eaten on sushi, sushi with canned tuna mayonnaise, and so on. These are just some of the Japanese food fusions that I want to introduce to you, but the list goes on and on. So if you visit Japan for the first time, or even if you're a regular visitor, or if you live here, traditional Japanese food isn't the only food you should try. Take your taste buds to an adventure and explore the art of unique Japanese fusion cuisines. Which ones of these fusion dishes have you tried or would like to try? Let us know in the comment section down below. We have more videos about Japanese culture, traveling in Japan, living in Japan, and so much more coming your way, so make sure to subscribe and press the bell notification. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.